Hey guys, welcome to Podcast Fandom, the official podcast for ProjectFandom.com. I'm your host, Nina.
I'm Donald.
And I'm Kaylee.
And that was Nico. Oh my God. This is so embarrassing. I'm not doing it over.
Why would you?
All right, he's part of the family.
We are here again to talk about Black Summer Season 1. We're going to be talking about episodes 3 and 4. I don't know about Donnie, but me and Kaylee have a lot to say. And Kaylee speculated that we probably have a lot to say about different stuff, but we have a lot to say. Mm-hmm. So Donnie, I'm curious though. What did you think of these two episodes, even though this was your second time around?
The first one with the kids, that one, like, I don't know why that episode has always stood out to me. Like, I've probably watched these episodes, because even as background noise, quite a few times. This season, I don't remember all these episodes, but that episode always sticks out to me.
I mean, because it's disturbing as fuck.
It is. Like, just fucking white boys are just evil.
But listen, it's not even... Oh, my poor Nico. It's disturbing, but I still don't think it's as disturbing as watching that little girl ride off in that car with those guys in episode 2. Do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. But yeah, it's very disturbing. But did you like them?
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
I'm still enjoying the show. It's fun.
Okay. Well, Kaylee, you go then. What did you think of these 2 episodes overall?
So I remember this morning, in the living room, you saw Daddy had started the episodes, and you pointed, and I can't remember, I think it was Daddy who pointed out first, he said that the curly haired guy was annoying. Mm-hmm. And then you were like, oh my God, I hate him so much. And then I was like, I hadn't seen the episodes yet, so I didn't even know who you were talking about. Mm-hmm. And I was like, and then you were about to get into a long tangent, I could tell, and I'm like, wait, I haven't seen these episodes yet. So you're like, okay, I'll save it for the podcast. And then I watched the episodes, and I could kind of even without looking, I think I knew who you were talking about. Mm-hmm. So I was keeping an eye on him the entire time I was watching these episodes. And I was like, let's see what's wrong with this character. And why Mommy and Daddy hate him so much. And then I was like, oh yeah, I get it now. I'm slowly starting to understand. So, but I really enjoyed these episodes, and I want to say I really like how this show doesn't, I've noticed, especially watching, I think mostly the 4th episode, the show does not have a lot of dialogue.
Yeah.
It's just, it expects you to sit and watch what happens, and it wants you to kind of piece together context clues yourself.
Yep.
It won't, the characters won't explain everything to you, and I like that. Mm-hmm. And also, I noticed they do a lot of really long takes of shots, one-shots.
Yes!
And I really like that, too.
I have that in my notes. I don't think I'm going to say it as well as you just did, but yeah. And I noticed it, when I remember the scene when I wrote it, when Maps, because that's his name. Mm-hmm. I don't know what his name is, but it's Maps. When Maps went up on the roof, and then he was slowly walking from one end of the rooftop to the other, and it has that gravel, that gravel top, so it's his sneakers are crunching along the rocks, and the camera is behind the AC units and you know what I mean? If the camera was just at a really weird angle, it almost made you feel like somebody was crouched behind those things, looking at him. The camera was at his knee length or lower, and knee height or lower. And then, but the whole scene was just him walking across the rooftop, and I was like, Jesus Christ. I was like, why is this scene so long?
But I think that's how they do it. I think that's how they get you so tense and on edge all the time.
Yes. Oh my God. This is not good for my blood pressure. I'm telling you right now, it's not. Oh my God. So yeah, like you, I'm loving this. I watched this by myself with the lights out, and it was, and I was screaming at the TV. And at one point I was like, Kaylee's gonna kill me because I'm probably gonna wake up Nico. But Maps was getting the fuck on my nerves.
I told Kaylee, what annoyed me the most was probably him in that grocery store. Like, I don't know why, that just bothered the fuck out of me.
Like everything he did.
He wanted to be everything be normal, and it just bothered the fuck out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right, let's talk about the episodes, because it was a build for me. I'm going to tell you, I was actually feeling bad for him in episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so episode 3 is summer school. The synopsis: Rose, Spears, Ryan, and Maps encounter some badass kids. My God. Okay, so the first part of this, I don't have all of the title cards written down, but the first one was Hide. And they end up taking shelter in this abandoned school. And this whole thing, like you're just saying, it was so tense just watching them like check every door and like round every corner. I was like, oh my God.
Well, what made it, and you knew, because when they come up to the school, the door is propped open by a little wedge.
And
Yeah,
you know,
Which kind of, that immediately threw Spears into like very suspicious.
You know what though? I thought this is what I thought, and I would have thought if I was in this situation. I thought, this means someone's coming back.
Yeah, that's
because
people
clearly
are held up in here, but they're not here right now.
Right, and it clearly wasn't like a private residence or whatever, because like the type of door it was, like I think there was like school buses, right? Yeah, the school buses in the parking lot. So like I'm thinking, this might be someone's shelter, but they don't have keys to it or something. You know, like if you get locked out, you're fucked. But yeah, so they end up like getting what it looked like was like the supplies they ended up rounding up. Like, did it strike you? It felt like it wasn't like a lot of stuff. It felt like it was stuff for like right now. Like clothes and stuff. But then when they came back and something was missing, do you remember when the kids started fucking with them and Spears says, is this where you put I thought he said pills.
Yeah, I thought he said that too.
So
but
was
it
it
sounded like he said bills also?
Okay. Yeah, I was like, what was it? Because I couldn't tell what it was that they were taking. I was trying to like, I don't know. So I just couldn't figure. I was like, why would they take pills? Like, because, okay, I'm just going to say it now, because this is one thing that like kind of sticks with me with this show, and I like this. I'm not complaining. It's like, I don't yet know what they're trying to do. Like, I know they were trying to get to the stadium. Okay, but like, why? And like, why is getting to the stadium done in this way? And we know from, I think, a story that Rose tells that this has been going on for at least like 6 weeks, right? She's like, they left home 6 weeks ago. So I'm still not sure like where everybody's trying to go and like what they think is going to happen. Like even the way they move through the streets bothers me and it makes me on edge. Like I don't know yet. Should you be walking in the middle of the street? Should you walk on the sidewalk? Like, like should you be calling out when you see a fucking dog?
Yeah,
or
how safe is it outside?
Aren't you just screaming for help? Like just screaming for other people like that.
Right. And it's like, and it's weird when they decide to do it and when they don't. So like, because I don't know what the hell is going on, it makes it like that much more intense, So when they're in here, and that's different from The Walking Dead, whereas like they always had like a clear objective, like each season or each, arc, like, oh, we gotta like fortify the prison, or now we have to like find a place from here to there. But here, I'm just like, okay, they're trying to get to the stadium, but like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what's going on? Like, why are some people like hunkered down in their homes, and why is there just like this lawlessness? Like, what the fuck? So when they were getting the supplies in the school, it just struck me that they weren't like looking for like long-term stuff, it seemed like. So then when he says, is that where you put the pills? I was like, I guess medicine is important, but like, I don't know. So yeah, they find some rooms to sleep in. Now, much like The Walking Dead, it seems that like clearly you're going to turn when you die, no matter what. Right. And you're going to turn quickly, and you're going to turn if you get bitten by one of them. Like, you know, like you don't have to be mortally wounded to turn. So in situations like this, I would not sleep with people. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would sleep in a room by myself. I wouldn't sleep with you. I wouldn't sleep with Kaylee. I wouldn't sleep with Jack. Because, you know, Donnie, we've talked about this when we do the Walking Dead podcast. And then one season it happened. Somebody died in their sleep, remember?
Yep, that was the prison.
Yeah, that young kid.
That's how that whole one season started.
Yep. So anyway, when they all hunkered down for the night, I was like, okay, y'all know, like anything can happen in this world. I don't know. I just wouldn't sleep with, anyway. But here I have in my notes, Spears is a dick to Maps. And I was feeling bad for him because it, like, he would just ask a question and he'd be like, shut the fuck up. Although he was stupid as fuck for hitting that drum. Like,
I completely forgot Maps was with him. I even asked Kaylee, I was like, because in the episode 4 starts with him in the school, and I'm like, what the fuck happened to him? Like, like I don't even remember what happened to him. Like how did he get here?
So, and then this is where Rose tells the story about how they left home 5 or 6 weeks ago, and they didn't know like what to take, and the stuff they did take, like basically they didn't imagine that they would never go home again. And I was just like, God, this is like fascinatingly depressing. It's just, you know, I'm like, what the fuck happened? And then like, I thought to myself, how she manages to even just like walk around and function is beyond me. Because if that was me and like Kaylee and Jack made it on that thing and then you turned into a zombie, like I would be so afraid for Kaylee and Jack. You know? Yeah. Anyway. Okay, so then we get to Seek. They wake up the next day and they hear somebody in the like the pipes or some shit or the walls and the vents, right? And they're gonna leave when they see a kid at the end of a hallway.
Yeah.
Now look, listen. What is that dog doing?
Just run around.
Oh, okay. Listen. Now, in retrospect, like, in hindsight, it didn't matter. Because these kids, like, were setting them up to begin with, right? Like, the doors were locked and all of that. But, like, when they were having that debate about whether or not they should go look for the kid, I was torn. But I really was leaning towards, nah, bye, kid. Fuck that kid. Nope.
Right, and that's what Spears is like. No, like he's like, what if it's a trap? Like, what if they're bait in all this stuff? And it was more that the deaf guy is like, no, we gotta go save this kid.
And that, see, to me, it was, for me, I thought that kid looks big enough to like not do what it did.
Right.
Like a toddler might have done that, but like that kid looked old enough that if they were in distress, like they wouldn't have run from you.
Right.
So this whole shit was just freaking. And then Ryan, with his fucking pure heart, he was like, well, I'm staying no matter what. And then Maps was like, I mean, it's a kid. And I was like, how you got me rooting for Maps? Like, now wait, in my notes, you guys, the next thing I have, my next bullet point, Maps dies. Because I thought he died.
This is where he disappeared, and I completely forgot about it.
Listen, I had to rewind this scene like 4 times because like the first time I had like blinked or something, so I didn't see like what happened to him. And I was like, it sounded like an explosion, so I couldn't understand why Spears was like trying to open a door. Like I didn't get, so I had to rewind it, but then I kept missing like the spot. It was a mess. But like when they enter that area, Maps walks up to a door like really fast and aggressively and just opens it. And I remember thinking, that's dumb. And then he survived that and does the same thing on another door. And Spears is like, wait. And then he dies. Oh, well, at least I thought he was dead. Nico.
He can't hear you.
Give him a treat, Donnie. Or did he already have one?
Kaylee already gave him one earlier.
Oh. So did you think he was dead, Kaylee?
I actually don't think so. I thought they were just separated. Because, like, how Rose and Ryan got separated, I'm like, oh, same thing happened to Maps and Spears.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, again, this is me underestimating the importance of Maps. I keep waiting to be done with Maps.
I did. Episode 4, I was just waiting for him to die.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to say, you guys seem to, like, be so annoyed with him and hate him. I don't hate his character. I just hate the fact that he's still alive. Like, he's just surviving on pure dumb luck, and then come
on. Rose and Ryan find dead bodies.
And they
Why?
didn't show us all the bodies, and I couldn't tell if
they look like children,
adults or children.
I thought it was children.
I thought it was also children, and I'm wondering if it was. Like, was it girls? Like, where were they? Were in like a shower room, right? Or like
yeah.
Oh, that'd be fucked up if it was just girls. Like
because it was only boys in the school.
Right.
Like, did they just kill all the girls?
That's even more
so the kid,
sadistic.
the kid that ends up shooting Ryan, that wasn't a girl?
No, they were all boys.
Calling it a boy.
Oh, okay. Because I'm gonna tell you, I thought that 2 of the bodies in the shower looked distinct like girls, for sure, and children, and I was just like, oh, and I thought, but I didn't think all girls. And then when we saw them later, I thought, oh, was that all girls? But then the little one that shot, I thought was a girl, so I thought, okay, no, it's not that. But now if you're telling me that's a boy, then yeah, that's definitely what that is. That's some Lord of the Flies shit. Oh my god. But why was it just the fact that the fumes and the smell like made them sick? Like I think
that's at first, but then I thought the visual of it made them like.
Yeah. Because I mean, she acted like because he ran out so quickly, and then when she tried to like go after him, she was stumbling and like waving, like coughing, and I thought.
Yeah, the smell, but I thought the visuals really put it over the top.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
you can tell like the moment they walked in, they could smell something was foul, but like they're in like a shower room, so you would assume it's just like because they're like in a locker room.
Right,
but
that's what I thought.
But I could tell they were gonna stumble across dead bodies even before they turned that corner.
Oh, and I mean that is like a distinct smell too, and they just kept going, and I was like, oh god. So they end up taking Ryan. Now, when they take Ryan and they put the little sack over his head and they throw him down, I saw the other guy and I wrote, who's the other guy? And I remember thinking by the time the episode ended that, or before the episode ended, that it would have been cool if you eventually see how that guy got there.
Oh, okay. So that explains who the guy is in the next episode. Okay.
Yeah. That's the guy that was that they had tied
Gotcha.
up.
Okay.
Yeah, right. So, Ryan dies because, like, and this is like, why did no one ever just say he's deaf?
I was gonna say that his death was so unnecessary. It could have been prevented if Rose had just been like, "Hey, he's deaf, so he can't hear your orders."
Right,
Maybe like cut him some slack.
Right.
It was annoying.
But this was terrifying. Like that you could just weaponize people like this.
The children.
Yes.
And this is why, like, I'm so glad the casting.
But then they started fucking cheering it out, like.
Yeah, they're terrible
because they got behind the gates, and then they were like cheering on the zombie to kill them. Like they were, it was all a game to them.
I'm so glad they didn't cast any brown children for this, because
it was all white boys.
That was just so sad. So the kid ends up shooting Ryan, and like, I get it, Rose, but also you know how fast people turn, and he had to convince her way too much and way too long to leave Ryan. Because if you're lucky, the person dies slow. You know, like, you just need to say goodbye. Like, what's her name? Like, who is the boyfriend? Did we ever see him?
Which one, the backpacker? Or
the girl we saw get hit by the car. What was his name again?
I don't even think we've ever seen him since he ran off.
But we did get like a name for him, right? Lance.
Yes, it was Lance.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. But anyway, like, you know, you have that time. Like, he didn't wait for her to die. She was like, "Don't go." He was like, "Nope."
Nope.
Like, she could have bled out for like an hour. For all he knew, he didn't care. He was gone. So yeah, he turns and then he chases them, and like, everything, not just the shots, but like, everything takes a really long time. Like, all of this running around the tables and stuff, like, it takes so, like, I feel like in another show they would have run around the table maybe twice and they would have moved it somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? Right. Like, the scene would have shifted. Here they were running around that room, felt like 5 minutes. I was like, oh my god.
And it felt like they didn't know how to kill it, like, because he kept shooting at it, but it's like he didn't know you had to shoot it in the head.
That's how but you know what?
Playing to me, because you shot it so many fucking times.
But I think what they're going for, because this show does feel very realistic, crazy as it sounds, I think what they're going for is the fact that it's hard to get a headshot.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, in video games, it's one thing, but like...
But I felt like this guy, I thought he was really military. He was just...
I don't know that he's really military. I know that they had arrested him. I know that he's
like where he came from.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that's realistic, that, you know, and when you're like moving and running and, you know, there's not like, and the target's not standing still. So I wonder if it's more that, because I think they know the head does it. I think
that we've seen that as proof yet. Also, you mentioned that they turned from bites. Have we seen that happen?
Yeah, because I'm assuming that's why, what's his name, killed that guy at the end of 4.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, because we don't know. So
why else?
See it exactly,
and that's I always thought that guy at the first episode, the father, I always thought he was bitten. But he hadn't changed. It took him quite a while.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Just ended up dying from that.
I thought he died from.
But yeah, you guys. I mean, we never really found out because we never saw the wound. But
right. Well, we do know you turned quickly after dying, right?
Yes.
So, like, I'm assuming that they know it's the head because that guy was bitten, and either he wasn't gonna wait for him to turn, or getting bitten means you turn quickly. But what I took it as, he was killing that guy because the guy was bitten and therefore, you know, doomed to die, saving him. And if you're going to do that, then that tells me you know that you can kill it, if that makes sense. You get what I mean? So like, if you hit it in the head, you hit him in the head and he dies, he's going to turn. right? So then that means you gotta like hit him in the head and kill him, and then keep bashing his head in so he doesn't turn. So then that's right. So that says to me they must understand that killing the brain kills them, but that's just speculation. I don't know.
Right.
But then them badass kids.
They were all different ages too.
Mm-hmm. And so like the guy in the long trench coat that they saw outside the school earlier in the episode is the one who lets them out eventually, right?
We see him earlier in the episode. I don't remember that.
Yeah, remember they were walking and the guy like...
Oh, yeah. Now I remember.
And he points... Weird. Yeah. He points the gun at him and he's like... he just turns and walks away. That's the guy who opens the door for them. I'm like, what the fuck is up with that? And I'm like, that's fortunate.
Oh, okay.
And then you see them little badass kids set the door open for somebody else.
Right. This is fun and games for them.
That'd be so cool if that's just the last we see of that school.
Oh my! Listen, now there's one gunshot after they leave,
right?
And that's them killing Ryan, right? The kids killing Ryan.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Because now, and that's why they reset the trap because they would. I guess they wouldn't do that if they still had a zombie running around. Right. Okay, so episode 4 is alone, and I didn't write a synopsis because I was just, honestly, I thought I was just gonna fall asleep on this episode. But then I was just so fucking annoyed by it, like I never went back. And I don't know. I guess I could just be like, Maps is the worst. I don't know. So. At first, I was super excited. Okay, well, first, let me say this. I was annoyed that episode 3 didn't feature Son and William because I wanted to know what was up with them in that restaurant, that diner with, But then it was so good and so like I didn't think anything of it. Right. So when this episode starts with them, I was like, yeah. But then it cuts to Maps, and I was like, no.
That's all you get of them.
Wait, and I was like, Maps, first of all, I thought you were dead. And then every time a new title card came up during his story, I thought, surely we're going back to Son and them. And we never went back to Son and them. And all I got was just aggravated the whole episode.
I did like the map stuff just because you could tell it was happening at the same time as the spear stuff from last episode. Like when he's reading the book, you hear the shouting, you hear the gunshots.
Yes.
So it's like, the kids are in the hallway with them from the last episode.
Yes. And when he sat there reading that book, I was just like, what is wrong with you? But wait.
I just want everything to be normal, and this fucking bothers me.
Okay, so but first, let's talk about Son and William. Like, they're outside, like, the back door of the restaurant. And they're, like, pondering where they're going to walk to next. And I'm like, but wait, what about the people? What about the people?
What about everybody else?
Right? Trying to run you off the road. Like, what happened with that? And then you hear, this is so terrifying to me because had they walked, like, a few feet more, they might be dead. Because they didn't hear that zombie at all. And if they had been talking and walking and like the noise of that, and they did not hear that zombie, like if they kept, you know what I mean? Like they were so lucky they were still basically right at the door.
I think the zombies that were after them was the same ones that chased them in there. I think it was still Barbara and the other guy.
I was going to ask you, I wanted to go back and look at the start of this episode and see if it was Barbara.
Because there was two. One of them was a woman.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was so it was like the driver and Barbara. Oh my God.
Man.
The indignity of like then spending like your zombie afterlife when somebody was trying to murder you. Like and so they have to go back inside, and so they're trapped in there. And it's like they're in there like everything's okay. Like like it's just normal. Somebody's at the counter eating. I'm like
there was a couple of couple or whatever they were at the booth down the hallway. Down the way.
So we don't go back to them for the episode, but we spend the rest of it with Maps, who starts reading, like you said, Nico, when we hear the stuff going on with Ryan dying and turning. He ends up going on the rooftop, and we hear and see jets flying overhead a couple of times. That was terrifying. Mm-hmm. I was like, are they going to drop bombs? What is happening? I was just so... Because, again, we don't know, like, why the world is the way it is. And there's, like, a lot of military, but I ain't seen no cops. Like, little girls.
Like when Maps was sitting there reading the book in the library, and then he starts hearing all the commotion, and he gets scared as fuck. I'm like, this guy's such a fucking pussy.
Donnie. Yeah. Oh, y'all are terrible. Y'all are terrible.
I don't know. It just bothered me that he just tried to pretend it wasn't happening. That's what bothered me. Like, it was fine if he was just cowering, but he was, like, straight up just trying to ignore it.
Yeah. And then I started to, like, wonder if, like, there was something, like, if he, like, was having, like, some sort of mental break, you know? So I was, like, at this point, I was, like, sympathetic. Like, when he got down and he was, like, reading that book like that, I was like, oh, okay, he might be having some sort of mental break. Yeah, and this is where I said, when he's up on the rooftop, I like the shots, I like the way they set up, and I like the length, like how long the scenes are. Because this was just, it was just so tense. So then he, like, shimmies down this drain pipe to a lower roof. Now, when he got to this lower roof, I was so fucking stressed out, and I have in my notes, there are too many fucking windows. Because when he was, like, up top, I thought to myself, you might chill out up there. Like, if those kids don't know you're up there, like, if it gets dark or something, like, you could possibly sleep up there and be okay for, like, a night. But then, like, when he was shimmying down the thing and there's all these windows, I'm like, I couldn't tell where we were in the story. Like, would the kids see him? And I don't know about you guys, but I remember thinking, oh, I should have been paying attention to the windows, because I didn't know if maybe they showed the kids seeing him. But
yeah, I didn't see it. I don't think the kids ever knew he was up there. I don't, even to the point where he was up to the gate and they shot that other guy, I don't think they knew he was out there. It was just... I honestly thought that that's why they went up there. That they did see him when he was doing, and that's why they killed that guy, to set him on him.
I think they were just wanted to kill that guy just to get rid of him, and they threw him over the roof because they know that he'd turn.
Right, and they don't. Okay, I got these kids being way more diabolical, I guess. So he ends up getting chased by this guy, and the next portion is called Dog. Like,
when you just see one dog. That's it. Okay, that's it.
But, like, wait, there's a part where he's walking and, like, it's quiet, and then he, like, yells out, and I'm like, this is what I have in my notes. When he yells, hello, my nigga, why? Like, why?
Where is everyone?
Oh, my God. Then he gets into that car. Did you see the zombie come out into the street? Oh, my God.
And he's like started trying to start up the car and making a bunch of noise. I'm like, that zombie's gonna come back. We're just gonna see its face pressed against the window.
I was so scared. He said they're trying to, like, get the car started, and I'm like, dude, how did you not?
The car's there for a reason.
Right? And it's crazy to me, like, the cars that they check and don't check. Right. Like, they will pass, like, all these cars and don't check, and then they check this one random one. It's like, oh, the keys happen to be... Like, why that car? You passed so many. Then he sees the dog, and he's like, hey, and I'm like, idiot, what are you doing? What are you gonna do with a dog? What is wrong with you? And I just put, he's so fucking dumb. Because then he goes into the supermarket, and I thought, this is great, but you got to figure out how to turn off them fucking doors.
Because and it's not hard. Like, I have automatic doors at work, and it's usually a fucking button next to the door that you could just turn a knob, say automatic or off or whatever. That bothered me. I was like,
why would you lock the doors?
Right. Just like,
Like, especially once you walked around, and you started shopping, you should have gone back. Because listen,
But
I'm going to tell you.
he did that whole thing where he wanted everything to be normal. Like, he even goes to the fucking conveyor belt checkout and starts
Oh
putting
my
shit on the
God.
conveyor
Yeah.
belt.
At that.
What
Oh
the
my God.
fuck are you doing?
Oh my God. Like, I honestly would have been trying to figure out how can I stay here for the night.
I was
You know
more
what I mean?
surprised at how stocked that place was.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say that there was like lots of stuff still there.
You would think all these people out there looking for supplies. If anything, this place would have been rancid.
But are they? Because it's like, this is the second place I feel like in these episodes where somebody was like, it hasn't been looted.
Yeah, so that it's probably like the stuff started not too long ago.
Like,
Right.
yeah, I
This
don't know
is
if it's a thing that
very early.
spreads across
And
the
like
country.
most people have
Yeah.
probably evacuated safely, and there's only just a few people left behind.
That's true, because that would make sense. There's not that many people, trying to get the same resources.
Mm-hmm.
Because, man, I thought, okay, he's in there, and that fucking dog is going to walk over that that automatic door thing.
Let zombies in.
And let the zombie in. But no, the fucking zombie let himself in because this motherfucker didn't lock the door behind him. Oh, I hated him so much. Like, this whole thing.
There was a lot of scenes I noticed where he's running and he just doesn't close doors behind him.
Oh my God, I have
The
that
whole
too.
bus thing. Like, it was he gets into an RV at one point or whatever. Fuck it. Yeah, it was an RV. But even the bus, like, I still didn't understand why, unless the door on the bus was open. But there's a hatch on top of the bus. So I'm like, why didn't you just go down the hatch inside?
Yeah, because I was like, he can't get into. I mean, and I guess I don't know, because then you trapped yourself in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess at that point you'd be trapped
But like, I don't
how
know
you would start up the bus.
So yeah, he's chased to this bus because he's a dumbass, and like,
Which is back in the school.
and then he like falls asleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
He falls asleep, and I'm like, when that zombie.
What if you just like rolled off? Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so terrible. Yeah, he wakes up and the zombie is just standing. It's like, your luck. And like, when he's like making all of this noise, like crab walking from the back of the bus to the front of the bus, I was like, why do you make so much noise? Everything he did was wrong. At one point, I think I have that in my notes. I was like, he does everything wrong. And then when he starts to go down, why is he going down legs first? When he was like lowering himself down the front and then the zombie pops up and now you got to pull. I was like, you dummy. And that fucking zombie hopped his ass. I was like, when did he learn to do that? If he had learned to do that when your dumb ass was asleep.
Shit, when that zombie went through that fucking window of the RV, I was like, all right, these are agile.
I know. So then we have thank you. So I put in my notes too. I was like, what if he ran into them kids? The zombie is still there. And this is what I have in my notes. The zombie is still there and he does everything the wrong way. When he goes into the fire station, he jumps, he falls into the RV, he runs into the zombie garage. That's what I called it before I realized it was a fire station. He doesn't close doors behind him. I'm just reading my notes at this point. He doesn't close doors behind him. And then he fucks up the axe. How?
What happened there? Did the axe get like caught on something as he was swinging it?
Yeah,
or did he just like chicken out? Like,
no,
I couldn't tell.
He swung it back and it got caught on the shelving behind him.
Okay, because I was like, why does he not have it with him when he was running away?
I hated him so much. And he slid under the thing, and I was just like, why are you not dead? And why? And I thought surely this episode was going to end with his death, because I was like, surely they're not going to subject me to this man for another fucking episode. And no, he fucking killed somebody who was minding his fucking business till you came along.
I can't believe he could not kill the zombie, but he just kills this guy he just met right away.
And like, this is the guy, like, when he was running and he's like, help me.
Yeah.
Was this guy like getting in his car or something?
Yeah.
It felt like he was just like, that's what, like, the world is so weird. It looked like he was just like locking up his shop and going home for the day.
Yeah, like he was putting away groceries.
Yes, I was like,
in his car to go home.
I was like, I honestly thought he was just like putting shit in the trunk of his car. He was like, you know, getting in his car. It was the most mundane thing. And this guy's yelling for help. And I was like, he ain't going to help you. But, and then he runs into the store. And I forgot about it because I thought surely that guy left because that's what I would have done. That fucking zombie goes in the store after you and doesn't come after me. I'm leaving. But no, he goes back and he ends up having... I thought... So now, Kaylee, what did you think he was doing here when he says thank you and then he hits this guy?
What did I think he was doing? Like, why he was doing it?
Yeah, because I thought he was killing the guy because the guy was bitten, and that meant that he would turn. And Max knew that. But
I guess that is what he was thinking. But it's just bizarre to me that we haven't seen anyone turn just simply from being bitten. And, like, the guy himself, after he was like, he even says, I was bitten, but he doesn't seem all that freaked out.
That's true. That's true. But, like, I wonder if that is, when you said that, it occurred to me, maybe that is the point. Like, maybe they want us to not think that that's a possibility so that we think that Maps is now just a murderer for no reason. And then later, like, do you know what I mean? Because you're right. You would think that they would establish that before they show him murder somebody. Unless, you know, I don't know. Or unless they did and we missed it. Because, like, oh, maybe, okay, but maybe the fact that, remember, the father was injured and he was like, it's just like, he didn't want, it felt like to me he was trying to say it's not a bite.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Right.
Because if it was just a wound, you know, it's like, God, you don't even, like, are you not treating people at the stadium? Like, don't let me die.
Yeah, but then that means they've never shown us anybody getting bit.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so let's read this feedback. Oh, this is old. Hold on, let me make sure I get to the right ones. Okay. Kimberly says, hello, everyone. I guess we're just supposed to rock with it. With Spears and his perfectly fitted uniform that was obtained from a man who was several inches taller than him. I do love the fact that the actor is clearly black and Asian. Okay, and sometimes people need the reminder that mixed race relationships consist of more than black and white. I have always thought the Queen Sugar missed an opportunity when they did not have the character of Charlie reflect, the actress's real racial identity. Yeah, because in real life, her mother is Chinese and her father is black, and on the show, her father is black and her mother is white. Yeah. I looked the actor up, and Justin Chu Carey is getting ready to turn 39. Wait, did I ask his age and forget? Oh, never mind. She would not have heard this yet. She would not have heard the last podcast because we are doing ahead now. Wow. That's weird. Ooh, that's weird. Okay. But this, like, the only time that would happen is when we start a new show, if that makes sense. Anyway, I'm also loving that the actor who played Ryan, the deaf character, is deaf in real life. People with different, that's great. People with different abilities exist, and just as in the case of race, they deserve to be seen as well. Too bad that representation was short-lived. Yeah, and the fact that they, like, basically had him die because he's deaf.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
like
unnecessary.
Yeah, it was just so ridiculous. It made no sense that she would not say he cannot hear you. See, now I clearly differ from Rose because after seeing Ryan's face and reaction, I would have felt no need to check out what he saw. Yeah, I don't know why she kept turning. You're absolutely right. I'm glad you said that. Why the hell did she keep walking around that corner? I'd have been like, I take it they're dead. And there's a lot of them. And they're very dead. Let's go. And then when she kept going into the bathroom with the kid's voice.
You know what's interesting to me? There was this, like, it was in the third episode. there's a scene of her, and it looked like she was like in the library, and you could hear the kid's voice, like the recording, obviously, and she was like calling out. And there's a moment where she stopped, and then she kind of started panicking, and then she reached over to like grab something like sharp, and I'm like, it looked like she saw something. I'm like, why is she suddenly reacting like this?
I don't know if it just, maybe that's when it occurred to her that this is not normal. Like, this is not a real kid that's just playing around and doesn't know any better. I don't know. But you're right. She like grabbed, and I remember thinking like, I thought it was going to be like scissors, but it was something else.
It looked like a box cutter.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, Nico, we're almost done. Also, these dopes violated the cardinal rule in horror suspense thrillers. You never split up. Even, well, they wanted to look for the baby. No, I agree. I don't know. I wouldn't have looked for that kid at all. Even if they're fans of the genres in question, you can't tell me that at least one of them never saw Scooby-Doo. Shaking my damn head. Children of the Corn, they are all pure evil. For episode 4, she says, I have no idea whether this episode was designed to make me like or dislike Lance. However, after watching Lance kill... Wait, is that Lance?
Is that Lance?
So he's the boyfriend?
That's the boyfriend. I thought he... No, is that Lance?
I don't
It
think
might be.
it is.
I think Lance is the friend whose friend was looking at the map. Now I gotta go back. I mean, that would make sense because they haven't told us his name yet. But I gotta go back and look. The one whose girlfriend got hit.
Yeah, I thought it was a different like actor. Like I thought he looked different. Like I have a different face pictured in my mind for the guy with the girlfriend.
Me too. And I could still call him Maps.
Yeah.
Because he was looking at a map when his girlfriend got murdered. Anyway, she goes, I have no idea whether this episode was designed to make me like or dislike Lance. However, after watching Lance kill the man who got zombified because he saved Mr. Can't Do Right, I'm not leaning towards the liking Lance side of the fence. I mean, in Lance's Map's defense, I'm not going to let you turn into a zombie. I mean...
Only if you know for sure that's what's going to happen.
Right. If I was him, I would take my black ass back to the supermarket. I would board that shit up and I would hunker down. But he's dumb. He's going to stay in the bookstore. Or whatever that was. All right. So anyway, that's it. That's all we got. Thank you guys for listening. If you're time travelers, you were listening to this a week early. Woohoo. So next week, we'll be back to discuss episodes 5 and 6 for you. We are still watching Attack on Titan early in season 3. We have a lot of that coming up, plus more Money Heist, plus more Motherland, a lot of good stuff. And Nico. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. And Disney Plus What If kicks off next week, and we will be covering that on the premium show as well. That's it. Thank you guys for listening, and we will talk to you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I can't believe I didn't have to tell you guys this week. That's lovely.